I consider myself to be a very lucky guy, except when it comes to games of chance, anything with dice in it or cards or a spinny thing, forget it. And always thought of raffle tickets as really just donations. As a kid, I never won anything that had anything to do with luck. And what I didn't know was that I was actually saving up all my luck, my entire life, for one life or death flip of a coin. 2008 really sucked. I was sick most of 2008, went to the doctor. Doctor sent me for a blood test, and then he sent me for another blood test, and then another one, and then another one. And I finally said, "Doc, what's up with these blood tests?" He goes, "Well, they keep screwing things up at the lab." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, if these were your blood counts, you'd be dead." Those were my blood counts. I had a advanced form of a rare type of leukemia. Spoiler alert. The way I found out was a little unusual. Went into the hospital for a bone marrow biopsy, and this big doctor's kneeling on my back, driving a spike into my hip bone, trying to get some bone marrow out of me. And then he stops and he looks at the interns and goes, "Yeah, I can't find any bone marrow, but that's not unusual in cancer patients." That was the first time I had heard the word cancer in relation to my condition. It was a little off-putting. They couldn't treat me at that hospital. They had to send me to another one. So I was waiting around for a long, long time. Finally, a nurse came in and said, "Yeah, this is unusual. This doesn't happen to people like you." And I was like, "What do you mean people like me?" And he goes, "People with really good insurance." And I was like, "Oh, okay." We can't find a hospital to put you in. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put you in an ambulance and send you towards Center City, Philadelphia. And whoever has the first open bed, that's where you're going. Okay. So this ambulance arrives, right? And it's two easily 500-pound guys. And they are just winded getting down out of the ambulance. And they tell me to get onto the gurney, and I'm like, "No way, because when you drop me, you'll not be able to pick me up." I get in the back of this ambulance, and they take off. Now, it's a snowy day in Philadelphia. And in case you don't know what that means half of the motorists are driving 10 miles an hour going, "Oh my God, it's snowing!" And the other half are driving 80 miles an hour going, "Come on, it's just a little snow!" And these two ambulance drivers are playing their own version of Grand Theft Auto in the ambulance. They're blowing through stop signs and red lights and causing people to swerve and spin, and they're laughing and having a good time, and I'm hanging on for dear life in the back of this ambulance. And there are 3 oxygen canisters on the floor rolling back and forth as we stop and start, stop and start. And I don't know if you know about these things, but they're essentially bombs waiting to go off. If you damage that valve, it becomes a torpedo that can go through a brick wall. And that's when like a sense of peace came over me. I knew I was a goner. I knew that either the leukemia was going to get me or Philadelphia would. So here I am. I had about 48, 72 hours left in me. I'm headed towards one of 2 hospitals in Philadelphia, about a mile apart. And what I didn't know was the gene for leukemia is called the Philadelphia gene because it was discovered in Philadelphia at the University of Pennsylvania. And the first gene therapy for cancer, where they go in and reprogram your own white blood cells to attack your cancer cells, was developed for leukemia at Penn. And doctors from all over the world come to the University of Pennsylvania to train to be leukemia doctors. And Penn has the best trained nurses in the world. And their job, if you know anything about nurses, is to keep doctors from killing you. Penn has been kicking leukemia's ass for over 50 years. And I'm headed to one of 2 hospitals in Philadelphia. One has a treatment for what I have, and one doesn't. And that's when all my luck, all the luck I had saved up, every dice roll game I had lost, every game of backgammon and Yahtzee and Dungeons and Dragons, and every time I failed to draw that card for that inside straight or hit on 16 and went bust, every time they rolled the wheel for me and I came up empty, all that luck saved up my entire life for that one life or death flip of a coin. And I won. Thank you.